strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, eyes are fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here this afternoon from the Legacy Texas Motor Speedway. As these drivers get ready to go to battle, they get ready to light it up here in the beautiful, great state of Texas here this afternoon with the Premium Stock Car Racing League as drivers get ready to duke it out. They get ready to go to battle here this afternoon. Should be a great time. A lot of back and forth racing action here on the evening, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to be able to find the speed, who's going to be able to have that long run speed and put themselves into the winner's circle here this afternoon. We're going to be looking at a lot of drivers here throughout the evening up towards the front of the field. One of those being that 6th rider, Brian Underwood. Grant Applegate always seems to be a threat out there on the racetrack as the Red Bull Racing ride, sporting a new pair of colors here this afternoon, looking fresh out there on the speedway for the Legacy Texas Motor Speedway. We also see a beautiful Mossberg number 31 ride of Dylan Carrier out there. Carrier looking for a solid run this afternoon, looking to try to get him and his team back up into victory lane this evening as the Optic Gaming NJB Designs number 11 ride. That's Jordan Hand getting a little loose right there. Gets up into the outside fence. Luckily enough, that's only in practice, so he doesn't have to worry too much about that contact or getting into the wall right now. But during the qualifying session and during the race, you do not want to make those mistakes. You want to make sure you keep yourself out of trouble. What's good, Martin? Martin Long coming in, showing the love, says hi over there on YouTube. How are you, Martin? How you doing this afternoon, brother? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Saturday evening. As Jimmy 6 times also coming in, showing the love, says let's go, boys. Texas, yes, Sirski. Little Texas racing as we do see Aaron Robinson jumping out onto the racetrack. The Molly machine jumping out there onto the racetrack, the 24 ride, looking for a big run here this afternoon, trying to back up what was a great rebound day at Sonoma last week. So he's now onto a oval racetrack. We'll see what the 24 ride can do and see if he can try to race his way back up inside the top 10, as we do see Michael Ponder Jr. out there, the beautiful quick lanes at number 13 on the racetrack. Jonathan Gaston and his beautiful Gaston's iRacing graphics. Old Dogs Racing, number 72 ride, the G-Man, looking to try to lay down a great lap time right here. Is qualifying underway. Drivers out there on the racetrack trying to lay down some great lap times as the Trojan number 18 machine of Noah Blackwell rolls out there onto the racetrack. Here comes that Prestige Enterprises number 4 rider, Reese Kelva out there on the speedway. He is looking fresh. He is looking ready to rock and roll, as Martin says. Good, and you, brother, I am always doing good. Every time I hit that go live button, I'm always doing good, my boy. As Martin says, I'm doing pretty good tonight. How are you? And good luck to all the drivers out there. Put on a good show. Yeah, these guys always put on a good show. It's always great racing here on the Prestige Premium Stock Car Racing League here. These guys always put on some great shows for us. The 99 ride, the Texas Rangers machine here this afternoon. Ryan Haller, he's jumping out there onto the racetrack as the Cowboy Hat Bush Latte machine, looking for a big run. Farrell Robbins out there in the 76. We do see Melvin Brenger going to jump into position number 14 here in qualifying. Reese Kelva right there in front of him as Reese trying to get a little quicker here on lap number 2. We'll see if he can jump up the speed charts here towards the front of the field, as right now it's Grant Applegate. Applegate with the quick time here in qualifying. Landon Burbage into second. Now Brian Underwood up and into third here as he jumps into that third position. Dylan Carrier, Aiden Lucas, last week's winner, rounding out our top 5 here in this one. Jordan Hand, Wyatt Mickelson, Noah Blackwell, Mr. Angrel himself now into the 8th position as Jonathan Gaston, William Connolly rounding out our top 10. Aaron Robinson, Danny White, Jordan Crider, Ryan Haller, and Farrell Robbins rounding out our top 15 on the racetrack. We'll see if Farrell can find a little bit more speed out there as he's trying to work his way towards the top 10. See if he can find a little extra speed on lap number 2. Down across the line, he does find a little bit of speed, gains one more position on the racetrack, and jumps up into the 14th position as Haller will slide back to 15th. Reese Calva there in 16th with Trenton Johns in 17th. Melvin Brenger, Michael Ponder Jr. back in 19th. We do see the Energizer Bunny, the Rubbered Up Productions at number 5 right of Josh Grider. He's ready to rock and roll. He wants to try to lay down a great lap here and see if he can jump up and maybe steal that pole position away from Grant Applegate. We do see Nathan Brookover. He's out there as well in that beautiful number 8 machine. The Mountain Dew ride getting loose and hard contact into the outside fence. Unfortunate break right there for Nathan Brookover. His second lap will not count as he'll take that car back down pit side. We'll see where the Energizer ride will slide into here as yet to qualify. Evan Stewart, Ben Gleason, Chris Getson, Matthew Wood yet to lay down any laps as we do see Josh Kreider. He'll jump into the 10th position, so up inside the top 10 now for that 5 ride. Let's see if he can find a little extra speed here on lap number 2 as he wants to continue to inch his way closer to that pole position. We'll see if he can start a little farther forward here on the evening. As Kreider down across the line, he will finish his lap. We'll see if he finds any extra speed. No, just a couple tenths slower right there, and unfortunately, he will not move any farther forward. He will start back there in the 10th position unless we see Evan Stewart, Ben Gleason, Chris Getz, or Matthew Wood jump out for some qualifying. But qualifying quickly coming to a close here in this one, and we'll get ready for our main feature event in just a few more moments. As Dylan says, Matthew isn't racing. He is the pace car. Laugh out loud. He's the pace car. Okay. All right. Well, that's an interesting one for me. I don't think I've ever seen that. Another driver be a pace car out there on the racetrack, but we will look forward to seeing Matthew behind the wheel of the pace car since his retirement here from the Premium Stock Car Racing League. As nonetheless, we'll get ready to go to battle. Drivers will start to get lined up here on the front straightaway. They'll get ready to go to battle here this afternoon. As starting on the pole in that Red Bull number 57 ride, the Auto Value Parts Store Toyota, that is Grant Applegate. Applegate will start out in front. Landon Burbidge will start in position number 2 as we're going to get ready for our opening command here. Our command on the afternoon coming from Mr. Lonnie Crider himself. We're going to get the video up here for you. So let me make sure we can get that dragged in, allow you guys to see our command here from Lonnie Crider.
Well, we're in Texas. And just because you're out front, don't you worry. That guy behind you, he's got a rope in the back of his car somewhere there or right his seat, and he's going to lasso onto you and grab a hold of them horns, and he's going to go in front of you in a flat second if you don't watch. Good luck tonight, drivers. I hope you all have a good time racing. God bless America, and God bless everybody out there. Let's go racing, guys.
All righty, huge shout out right there to Lonnie Crider coming in, giving us the opening command here this afternoon as we'll get ready to go to battle. We'll get ready to duke it out here this evening. Let's get this closed and up and out of the way. As here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the racing action is about to get underway. We're about to see these drivers duke it out for 167 laps of racing action here from Texas Motor Speedway. Stage breaks at lap number 40 and lap number 80 here this evening. So a couple opportunities for drivers to kind of get locked in and kind of settled in out there on the racetrack, knowing that they're going to get a couple stages, a couple opportunities to earn some bonus points, and also try to, maybe make some strategy calls out there. Put yourself into a good position for later in this race as we start to see these drivers roll out there on the racetrack after our opening command from Lonnie Crider. Huge shout out there to Lonnie coming in and giving us the opening commands here again this afternoon. As Applegate, Landon Burbidge 1 and 2 getting ready to go to battle as Brian Underwood will start back there in third. It's the Mossberg number 31 rider Dylan Carrier who will round out our top 4. Starting in that 5th position, it's last week's winner of the Premier Racing Setups number 20 ride of Aiden Lucas there in 5th. His teammate there in the 11th, the Optic Gaming ride, that is shorthand, starting at 6. Starting in the 7th spot, it is the 10 ride of Wyatt Mickelson. He's going to have Noah Blackwell to his outside there in 8th. Then we see Jonathan Gaston and Josh Crider rounding out our top 10. The 25 of William Connolly back at 11th with Aaron Robinson, Jordan Crider, Danny White, Farrell Robbins, Ryan Haller, Reese Kelvin, the Prestige Enterprises number 4 ride, Trenton Johns, Nathan Brookover, Melvin Brangruer, Michael Ponder Jr., Ben Gleason, Evan Stewart, and Chris Getz. Matthew Wood, Chris Getz going to bring up the rear of the field there in that 24th position as we're going to end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here from Texas Motor Speedway. Out in front, leading us down through the first set of corners here this afternoon, and down the back straightaway is Grant Applegate. Applegate with the early race leader, pole sitter, looking to lead lap number 1 is nice and easy down through 3 and out of corner number 4. Down across the line here at Texas Motor Speedway, the Red Bull number 57 of Grant Applegate will lead the opening lap. Landon Burbidge back there in position number 2 with Dylan Carrier stuck back there in that 3rd position. He was quickly able to move himself up and around Brian Underwood as Underwood down a couple spots. Aiden Lucas also getting around him in that 6th ride, the season champion last year. He is back in position number 6 as the season 4 champ rolls back there in that 5th position. In the 6th ride is Jordan Hand in that 6th spot with Noah Blackwell, Wyatt Mickelson, Josh Crider, and Jonathan Gaston rounding out our top 10 here early on from Texas Motor Speedway. Now we're going to see a lot of different variations of speed out here on the Speedway. Drivers up towards the front, laying down some great lap times. Drivers a little farther back, unfortunately, not as fast as I think they would hope to be here, as we already see Evan Stewart, one driver that did not qualify here this afternoon. That 37 already up 5 spots on the racetrack, working his way inside the top 20 and quickly trying to race his way up towards the front of the field. He's got Nathan Brookover, Reese Kelva right there behind him. Ben Gleason back in 22nd. There you see Michael Ponder Jr. and Chris Getz. Matthew Wood not out on the racetrack as of yet. As out in front, leading the way, Grant Applegate looking very strong as we do see Dylan Carrier. He's going to make his way around that two-ride. Landon Burbage going to lose a couple spots as now Carrier has a little bit of pressure underneath of him. He watches up the racetrack, sliding there through corner number 2, and it's going to open up the door for a big run down the back straightaway for that Premier Racing Setups NJB Designs number 20 ride. Last week's winner quickly working his way from 5th up into 2nd, and he is trying to chase down Grant Applegate for the race lead. As Aiden Lucas looking to try to make it 2 weeks in a row here with the Premium Stock Car Racing League after finally finding his way into victory lane. Maybe the floodgate's going to open for the 20 ride and see him really start to lay down some great laps, some great races, and potentially putting that 20 ride into a bunch of very good finishes here on the season. Could be a big threat here for these drivers in the championship as Lucas rolls there in position number 2. It's Dylan Carrier back there in 3rd with Landon Burbage and Brian Underwood still rounding out our top 5 out there on the racetrack, but Jordan Hand, Noah Blackwell trying to hunt that 6 ride down, trying to work their way inside the top 5 out there on the speedway. Josh Crider already up a couple spots as well as he rolls there in the 8th position. Mickelson and Gaston still rounding out our top 10 with William Connolly back in 11th. Danny White there in 12th. Aaron Robinson in the Liqui Moly Thrustmaster number 24 ride back in the 13th position. The Liquid Death number 28 of Trenton Johns early on, up 4 positions on the racetrack in the 28 ride, racing his way inside the top 15, trying to hunt down our top 10 on the racetrack as Trenton Johns rolls there in that 14th spot. He's got Farrell Robbins right there behind him, running out our top 15 as Jordan Grider, Ryan Haller, Evan Stewart, Melvin Brangruer, and Ben Gleason round out the top 20. The Prestige Enterprises Texas A&M number 4 ride, a home track here for Reese Calva. Reese back in 21st with Nathan Brookover and Michael Ponder Jr. bringing up the rear of the field, and he's got to be careful here. 40 laps until we see that first stage break, and right now already 11 and a half seconds behind our race leader, Grant Applegate. As Applegate feeling the pressure here down to his inside comes that 20 ride of Aiden Lucas. Lucas looking to try to take this race lead away, looking to try to put himself out in front as down the back straightaway, door to door, nice and easy into corner number 3. You see the 20 ride able to take that run. He's going to jump out in front, and it only took 9 laps to get it done. As down across the line, that'll finish lap number 10, and we see a new race leader here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League as the 20 ride of Aiden Lucas now out in front. Aiden leads the way here in that beautiful Premier Racing Setups number 20. Applegate back there in position number 2, but here comes Landon Burbage. Burbage able to work himself back around Dylan Carrier, and now trying to work his way around that 57 of Grant Applegate. Underwood right there as well. He's been able to move around the 31, now looking to move around the 57 as it seems Applegate sliding backwards quite a bit right now. Not the preferred line down through corner 1 and 2. It's going to open up the door for the 31 of Dylan Carrier to try to get around him here as well. Carrier a little slideways there down and out of corner number 2, trying to stay there to the inside of that 57, trying to keep that door open. And you see Jordan Hand, he's right there ready to strike as well. Jordan looking for a big run off of corner number 4. He'll reel into the back bumper of that 31 machine, and they'll both work themselves around Applegate. So Grant, unfortunately, sliding backwards about 5 spots over the last couple laps, and all of a sudden, after giving up the race lead, now finds himself outside of the top 5. Noah Blackwell, Wyatt Mickelson in the HendrickCars.com number 10 machine, trying to hunt him down is Jonathan Gaston, looking to try to make his way around the Energizer number 5 right of Josh Crider. Crider will slide back into the 10th position as the G-Man up and into position number 9 once again this afternoon. Is out in front, it's Aiden Lucas. Lucas leading the way here at Texas Motor Speedway in this 20 ride, looking absolutely hooked up and looking stout here once again this afternoon. As man, it's been pretty crazy, man. This 20 ride's been on one heck of a run here this season. The 20 has been very, very fast. He's shown a ton of speed, and I would say he has probably been the driver with the most percentage in most laps led here on the season, and we're only a handful of races in this 20 ride. I would say has been out in front for more than half the laps here on the season. I'm saying probably closer to about 70 to 80 laps led here. 70 to 80% of the laps led on the season belong to that 20 ride. Aiden has been out in front and just putting together some absolutely amazing races, showing a ton of speed out of that car and continuing to impress, continuing to get better week after week after week. And he's once again out in front, looking to try to run away with another win here possibly this afternoon, as Landon Burbage there in second. He's still trying to hunt him down. Brian Underwood right there as well in position number 3. Jordan Hand now up into 4th as Dylan Carrier slides back to the 5th spot. Applegate back there in position number 6. So it seems like a couple of the drivers that were a little tougher on their equipment early in this race. They were making some moves. We saw Applegate open up a bit of a race lead. I think just being that little bit too tough on your tires early on in this race is really starting to affect these guys. And right now Grant is dropping like a rock, now back 6 positions, sitting back in that 7th spot. Just looks like he cannot hold that inside groove. The car keeps on washing up into the middle groove to the outside lane, and it's really pushing him back farther and farther and farther. As Logan says, how's Johns in the 28 doing? So far that 28 ride has been pretty solid early on in this run. Since the drop of the green flag, we saw the 28 move forward quite a few spots. He was up about 4 or 5 positions from where he started. He's now giving back a couple of those spots and at risk of losing a couple more here, as that's the 66 of Ben Gleason, the 3 of Jordan Crider, the 89 of Melvin Brangruer right there, as well as Trenton Johns will slide back into the 17th spot on the racetrack right now. The Liquid Death number 28 ride, trying to keep that thing pointing in the right direction, trying to stop the bleeding here, trying to hold these guys back there at bay, but they're putting together some great laps. And now we see Trenton Johns get up into the outside fence, hang on to it, down the back straightaway. He's going to go around. Trenton Johns goes for a loop-de-loop, heavy contact. That right front tire shredded to pieces here. Heavy right side damage after slamming into the outside and the inside wall. And unfortunately for Trenton Johns, a little bit of the announcer's curse right there. We were watching and we were looking at him. We were putting the pressure onto that 28 ride. He goes around. No caution flag as he was down and off the racing surface. He was on the apron. iRacing not going to throw the caution flag, and unfortunately for the 28, he has got a ton of damage. He's trying to shake it loose, see what's kind of going wrong with it, see if there's any tire rubs as he takes it down into his pit stall. The crew is going to go to work trying to get that thing repaired and try to get him back out there onto the racetrack. Unfortunately now sitting back in the 22nd position, and he is currently at least a lap down, potentially going to go 2 laps down as you see them get that car somewhat repaired, some new tires onto it. He's going to roll back out onto the racetrack here, but an early race issue here for Trenton Johns as he now falls to the rear of the field back in the 23rd position as Evan Stewart was able to get around him here. Stewart was looking very, very fast early in this race. The Majors garage ride was moving forward through the field as well. Now has fallen backwards. Had to take that car down pit side on lap number 18, and he is also a lap down, but currently sits in that free pass position. As in front, it's Aiden Lucas. Aiden continuing to lead the way. Landon Burbage, Brian Underwood still our top three, with Jordan Hand back there in fourth, but now working his way inside the top five here. Is that 10 Rhino Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson up inside the top 10. He's got that 28 of Trenton Johns back there behind him. You're going to be able to see how good the fresh tires to the old tires are here. As unfortunately the tire wear going to be a major factor this afternoon. Early in this race, in our opening few laps, we saw drivers, especially up towards the front of the field, were laying down 29.3, 29.5 lap times, so they were under 29.5 seconds out there on the racetrack in the opening stages of this race. In the tire fall off, they're already fallen back to running 31.5 seconds, 31-second lap time, so we've already lost about a second and a half here on pace with the tire wear this afternoon. So unfortunately for a lot of these cats, if you're a little too hard on the tires early in the run, you're going to pay for it later in the run. And I think that's exactly what we're starting to see here for drivers like Dylan Carrier, who's now back into that sixth position. Our pole sitter, Grant Applegate, he's all the way back now in ninth. So falling backwards like a rock right now for Grant Applegate, as other drivers that were trying to save their tires, be a little bit more cautious early in this race, benefiting from those drivers that work too hard on their tires early on. And that's something that everyone's going to be dealing with all afternoon. That tire wear, the slipping and sliding out there on the racetrack, just trying to keep the car underneath of you and not burning and chewing those tires up is one tall task. As you see the 13 ride of Michael Ponder Jr. Michael is going to go a lap down now as well, so he is now the first driver one lap down on the racetrack here. And unfortunately for that 13 machine, he's in that free pass spot. Evan Stewart, though, he's quite a ways back there behind him. Stewart now no longer in the free pass position. He's going to be looking to try to hunt down that 13 ride. Hope to see if he can take that lucky dog spot away from the 13, trying to race his way back onto the lead lap. Same with Trenton Johns in that 28 ride, but Trenton Johns is virtually an entire lap behind that 13, as you see a little right front damage on Michael Ponder Jr.'s Motorcraft number 13 ride, as he does get passed by that number 28, still back in the 21st position, still in that free pass spot out there on the speedway, as Aiden Lucas continuing to lead the way. He's looking to try to pick up that first stage win. As let's see what's going to happen here, as potentially going to see drivers maybe try to make those green flag pit stops, maybe wait until that stage break to come down pit road. As you do see Trenton Johns, the fresh tires here, he was sitting back in that 17th, 18th, 19th position before running into his issues, but you can see those fresh tires and how good they are, as that's our race leader Aiden Lucas out in front. But the 28 rider Trenton Johns trying to get a lap back, trying to move him from 2 laps down to 1 lap down out there on the racetrack. And you can see how a good strategy having tires late in this race. Even if you are, having some struggles, you're a lot slower than everybody else, but if you have those fresher tires, how quickly you can move up through the traffic, make these passes, and slide yourself around some of these very, very fast cats at the front of the field. Is my boy Caleb Ramsey. What's good, Caleb? Caleb coming in, showing the love, says let's go, and coming in with that followage as well, the exclamation mark followage with the 1,154 days of being a follower here on Peacemaker Gaming. Absolutely insane, brother. 1,154 days of being a part of the Peacemaker family. As Caleb also coming in with that heart reaction on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Caleb. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as these drivers putting on a great show for us here this afternoon. As Aiden Luke is continuing to lead the way right there, trying to stick to his back bumper, is that number 2 ride of Landon Burbage. Landon not letting him really run away with this one, and they got about a 2-second gap between this number 2 machine and our third place driver, Jordan Hand. His Hand able to make the move around that 6th rider, Brian Underwood. Underwood slides back to 4th. Hand now up into 3rd. He's looking to try to close that 2-second gap and chase down our top 2 competitors here this afternoon. As Wyatt Mickelson, they are rounding out our top 5 with Dylan Carrier, Jonathan Gaston, Noah Blackwell, Grant Applegate, and Josh Crider rounding out the top 10 here in stage number 1. As Martin coming in with the hearts there in the comment section. I appreciate that, Martin, coming in, showing the love here in this one, as we're getting closer and closer to seeing this first stage break, ladies and gentlemen. There's only a few more laps left to go. And now not only is there 10 points for the regular season championship on the line, trying to get those points in, trying to build yourself up, trying to move yourself forward in the point standings, but there's also the 1 bonus point that carries with you throughout the playoffs. So for a driver like the 20 ride, who's already found victory lane, he's locked into our playoffs here on the season, and he's trying to get that extra bonus point. It could be a big point to help navigate his way through that playoffs and towards the championship 4 here later on in the season. As Logan says, when is stage break? So stage break number 1 will be at the completion of lap number 40. So lap number 40 is stage break number 1, where we will hand out some points and a bonus point towards the playoffs. And stage number 80, or lap number 80, is when stage number 2 will come to a close. So 2 40-lap runs, and then finishing off the race with a 87-lap run to the end. So going for a couple short runs, a couple short stints, 40 laps each into that 87-lap final stage. Definitely going to make things that much more interesting if we see it clean and green. We don't see, a bunch of caution flags in that final stage. We're going to see these drivers have to make green flag pit stops, so we may even still see green flag pit stops here before the end of this stage if drivers want to try to leapfrog this race. Instead of going down pit side or anything else, they can try to pit beforehand and leapfrog back in front of everybody, but give up those stage points here this afternoon. And now for a car like that 20 ride, I don't think he wants to give up any of those stage points or the bonus point here, as he knows that those bonus points are going to help him potentially race his way into a championship. And for a driver like Landon Burbage, Landon has had some very tough luck early on in the season in the 2 ride. I'm sure would love to have some extra bonus points, and honestly, now that they're starting to stretch that race lead out, there's not a whole lot of drivers, I think, that could make that strategy call before pit lane comes to a close before that stage. Drivers like Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood, Wyatt Mickelson would even be at risk of potentially going a lap down, so I'm not sure if it's going to be worth it to make a late stage pass down pit side and not giving up a lap or anything else out there, as definitely don't want to go a lap down. It's so tough to get these laps back, especially with, very minimal caution flags and everything else, and only one more stage to go. You don't want to put yourself into that position. As Aiden Lucas continuing to lead the way here at Texas Motor Speedway, starting to open up a little bit more of a gap between himself and Landon Burbage. 0.6 of a second between first and second. Over 2 seconds back, we see Jordan Hand there in third. He's got a second between himself and Brian Underwood. Underwood's got a 1.25 seconds between himself and Wyatt Mickelson as our top 5, all separated here by about 5.5 seconds on the racetrack, just showing you the absolute speed and tenacity out of this 20 of Aiden Lucas, as he's going to start to put more drivers a lap down. Unfortunately, that is the Prestige Enterprises number 4 ride of Reese Calva, who is now a lap down here, and unfortunately he holds on to the lucky dog spot. He just does not want to see this 99 ride go a lap down, as well as, here we go, our race leader to the inside of the 99, and that is going to take Reese out of the lucky dog position, and that will move the 99 rider Ryan Haller now is the first driver 1 lap down, as Michael Ponder Jr. running into some issues here, but the stage should come to a close, as out in front is Aiden Lucas, who will pick up that first stage win. So Lucas out in front, winning the first stage here this afternoon. Now we should see the caution flag come out here shortly, unless if they're going to run this a little differently. I have seen them do this before where we don't have a caution flag for that first stage break, but the second stage potentially having that caution flag, that caution break. So I think we're going to be doing that here with not seeing that yellow flag come out yet. Looks like we are going to see this stay clean and green, and now we see pretty much everybody dip down pit side. Here comes Aiden Lucas, Landon Burbage, Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood, Wyatt Mickelson, pretty much the entire field coming down pit road. Now we haven't seen that caution flag yet. There hasn't been that yellow flag for the stage break, so it doesn't look like there will be a official caution flag here, as Jonathan Gaston going to stay out for at least another lap. Same with Jordan Crider. Nathan Brookover still out there as well, yet to come back down pit side as drivers on pit lane rolling back out onto the racetrack. It looks like Aiden Lucas, first one down pit side, first one off of pit lane. We do see Jordan Hand able to get down there a little bit quicker, and Jordan Hand is going to jump into that second spot as he's able to leapfrog Landon Burbage for that second position out there on the racetrack. Brian Underwood, he's back there in position number 4. Dylan Carrier going to come out with position number 5 here. He was able to leapfrog that 10 ride of Wyatt Mickelson, as we do see Jonathan Gaston now down pit road here himself. Gaston going to get his pit stop done. Same with Jordan Crider. Nathan Brookover also down pit road as Aiden Lucas will migrate back to the front of the field here. And now he had a very good pit stop here, and he was able to open up quite a bit of a lead. 2.4 seconds between himself and Jordan Hand. Hand back there in position number 2, trying to hold Landon Burbage off as they're looking for another 1-2-3 finish here this afternoon, as their team off to a hot start. A great finish last weekend and last Saturday, and they are trying to back it up again this afternoon as the Redemption Motorsports crew currently sitting 1 and 2 on the racetrack with Aiden Lucas and Jordan Hand out in front leading this race. Their other teammate Brian Underwood sitting back in position number 4, and Grant Applegate, their 4th teammate, back there in the 9th position. Now he was the pole sitter, led the opening few laps, but ever since then it's been pretty much all Aiden Lucas, as Lucas continuing to show these drivers how to get it done. The Powerhouse Motorsports number 2 rider Landon Burbage sitting solidly there in position number 3 as Brian Carrier. Brian coming in, showing the love here in this one. Brian says, let's go Dylan Carrier, cheering on that 31 of Dylan Carrier out there on the racetrack as he's trying to race his way up towards the front of the field. It's Aiden Lucas, though, who continues to lead the way. Now, he has given up about half a second between himself and Jordan Hand, but right now, Aiden Lucas, he can kind of mind that gap. He can kind of sit back, relax a little bit, allow these other drivers back there behind him to catch up to the 20 ride before really starting to put the power down in that 20 ride, before he really starts to make the moves and start to, burn those tires up. He can take it a little bit easier right now, allow them to kind of catch him, play that cat and mouse game, and wait till they get to his back bumper, then use that extra tire that he's been saving to pull back away from them and keep them back there at bay. So a lot of strategy, a lot of game plan going into a race like this one at Texas Motor Speedway, the legacy Texas Motor Speedway. In this racetrack, it chews up the tires a ton here. It chews up the tires a lot, and all afternoon we're going to see that tire wear be a key factor between whether or not you can put yourself up into victory lane here this afternoon, as we do see Landon Burbage back here. He sits in that 3rd spot, trying to stay right to the back bumper of the 11 ride as Landon out there on the racetrack. He's having a good run. Let's see if we can jump on board here and get a good look in on this number 2 ride and see what he sees from the driver's seat as he rolls out there on the racetrack, putting on a great show for us. And we're going to get the webcam turned on here as well, so we're going to be able to see not only what he's doing in behind the wheel of the race car, but also in and on the sim here as well. So let's get the webcam turned on here for Landon Burbage and see what this two ride is seeing and how he's focused up, how he's rolling out there on the racetrack and keeping those hands moving here. You see it in the steering wheel in the race car, but you see it there in real life up on his webcam, and you see that wheel moving around, how he's trying to keep that car pointed in the right direction, keep those tires underneath of him. You can hear him working the throttle, trying to get these cars, just rolling smoothly out there on the speedway. And right now he's been doing a very solid job at it, been up inside the top 3 all afternoon. We can take a look back at some of these other drivers out there, maybe some of the other ones that are running and struggling a little bit more on the speedway. If we take a look here at Reese Kelba in the Prestige Enterprises ride, Reese back here a little farther, and unfortunately for Reese, it doesn't look like he's having as much fun as some of the drivers up there towards the front of the field. But you can see how focused up these guys are out there on the racetrack. There's not a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of smiling or anything else. They're just kind of focused up, rolling out here on the speedway and trying not to make any mistakes out there on the racetrack. There you go. There's a good look at Reese. He's got the beautiful lounge in behind him. He's got all those big Boxx up on the wall. Now, I don't know if that is that's green screened in or if that is his actual background. I do believe that is a green screen there in behind him, but nonetheless, a beautiful background there for Reese Kelba, and a fancy way to do it as well. The green screen always putting together some great looks and seeing some great backgrounds there for the number 4 ride. Let's see if we can get another look at this car and how he's navigating out there on the racetrack as the Aston's iRacing Graphics Powerhouse Motorsports Prestige Enterprises number 4 ride, that PreCenterTexas.com number 4 ride, as these guys rolling out there on the racetrack. He's trying to hunt down the number 99, Ryan Haller, trying to make the move around Haller here as he looks to try to move himself a little closer through the field, trying to make this pass. He's hooked up. He's rolling out there on the racetrack. As huge shout out there to Reese, and a huge shout out to all of our drivers here with the webcams turned on. We appreciate each and every single one of them having these webcams, giving us a good look and seeing what they're dealing with out there on the racetrack. Get the whole group out there and see everybody what they're doing and how they're navigating and driving in their sims out there on the speedway. Everyone focused up, everyone locked in, looking to try to race their way to the front of the field, looking to try to put themselves into a winning position here this afternoon. As you see Dylan Carrier, Reese Kelva, that number 5 ride of Josh Crider, he's up there. Jonathan Gaston as well there in the middle right. We see Noah Blackwell, Landon Burbage. I do believe that's Melvin Brangler down on the bottom. I could be wrong. That might be Aaron Robinson, but I do believe that's Melvin. Looks like his desk in setup, but could be wrong about that one on the very bottom there. But nonetheless, man, a huge shout out to all these drivers having those webcams turned on, giving us these great in-car looks here on the afternoon, as every one of them trying to keep themselves in the great position, trying to keep on rolling out there on the speedway and continue to keep this race clean and green. No caution flags as of yet. We've seen a couple drivers run into issues. We do see a little bit of 3 wide right there, some power out of that 37 right of Evan Stewart. Evan came down pit side on lap number 46. Now he does have the freshest tires over everybody else out there on the speedway by about 4 or 5 laps, and he's looking to try to use those fresh tires to race his way back up towards the tail end of the 1 lap down drivers and trying to put himself back into the lucky dog position. Right now he sits back though, I believe at least 1 lap down. He's now back about in the 22nd position, and not the place he wants to be this afternoon, but out in front in the right spot to be here this afternoon. It is that number 20 ride. Aiden Lucas continuing to lead the way here this evening with Jordan Hand 2.5 seconds back, sits there in position number 2. Landon Burbage there in 3rd with Brian Underwood, Dylan Carrier, our top 5 on the racetrack. Wyatt Mickelson having himself a great day here this afternoon, as Wyatt a part of the Fueled Up Motorsports team, and he is fueled up, he is revved up here this afternoon, and he sits in position number 6 on the racetrack, looking fresh out there on the speedway as Grant Applegate there in 7th. We see Noah Blackwell back into the 8th position. Jonathan Gaston, Josh Crider rounding out our top 10 here on the speedway as we do see Trenton Johns. Trenton running into some more issues here. The 28 ride having some more problems into the outside fence on quarter number 4. He goes down through the grass, goes back up into the outside fence right below the start-finish line. And luckily enough, the 37 ride able to avoid him, but he does come to a stop down here on the infield. He's off the racing surface. NASCAR not going to throw that caution flag as he takes that car down pit side. And unfortunately here for the 28 machine of Trenton Johns, now back in last place and at the rear of the field here this evening. A heartbreaker there for Trenton Johns. Is heavy damage. The crew's going to work trying to get that thing repaired, trying to get him back out onto the racetrack, but he may be down there for an extended period of time. As Aiden Lucas out in front, continuing to lead the way here at the beautiful Texas Motor Speedway, putting on one hell of a show for us here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're just tuning in, do us a favor, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button as these drivers, man, putting on a great show for us here this afternoon. Josh Crider just inside our top 10 out there on the racetrack, trying to hunt down Jonathan Gaston. Gaston trying to move himself farther forward here as right now the 8th place driver, the 9th place driver, and the 10th place car here, the number 5 ride of Josh Crider, they haven't moved any positions. They're right where they started here this afternoon. They haven't moved forward. They haven't fallen backwards. They sit right where they started here this afternoon. Blackwell started in the 8th position. Now he sits in that 8th spot. Same with Jonathan Gaston, Josh Crider, and the 11th place driver, William Connolly. He started in 11th. He sits there in 11th, and so far, not a whole lot of movement at a lot of these drivers. We do see Landon Burbage trying to make that move around the 11 ride of Jordan Hand. Burbage looking to jump back up into position number 2 as they battle door to door for the 2nd spot on the racetrack. Aiden Lucas loving every single second of it as he is out in front. He has grown the lead to now over 3 seconds, 3.2 seconds to be a fact here. The gap between 1st and 2nd on the racetrack is Landon Burbage back up into that 2nd spot right where he started this afternoon. Started in that 2nd spot. He rolls out there on the racetrack in position number 2 as we inch closer and closer to the end of stage number 2 here at lap number 80. Now, I do believe we will see that caution flag in the official stage caution come out at lap number 80, but we'll have to wait and see if that is the case or if these drivers will just keep it clean and green and see if they can run this entire race without having a caution flag out there on the speedway. Now, I know there's a lot of drivers that probably don't want to see a caution flag. They don't want to see these drivers right back onto the rear bumper or making those, strategy calls out there on the speedway. But for a lot of cats, they're definitely hoping to see that yellow flag fly. They want to see a little bit of a break, maybe a catch, maybe an opportunity to catch their breath, maybe get a quick drink, maybe even go to the bathroom as they're down on pit road and trying to get their cars fixed up or anything else. So a lot of these cats, they're looking for a little bit of a break, a little bit of a chill down time out there on the speedway, but there's not a whole lot of time for that right now as we are 67 laps into this race. 67 laps of racing action. Haas the Boss 420 coming in, becoming a brand new member over on the YouTube stream. Haas the Boss 420, welcome to the Peacemaker crew, coming in, hitting that freaking join button, becoming a brand new member and joining the Peacemaker sub club here this evening. Haas the Boss, welcome in, brother, and I appreciate that, coming and showing the big love here in this one. Absolutely insane. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Haas the Boss 420 coming in showing the love here in this one. Absolutely massive, brother. I appreciate that. As out in front, that 2-rider Landon Burbage still trying to hunt down Aiden Lucas, but Aiden continuing to stretch that race lead out more and more and more. That gap is now 3.6 seconds between first and second, and he is not slowing down after picking up his first win on the season, his first win in the Premier Stock Car Racing League. He is continuing to just pull away from everybody out there on the speedways. Haas the Boss 420 says, yo, it's Casey Gross 77 Outcast. What's up, baby? What's up, my boy Casey Gross? Casey, I was wondering who Haas the Boss was, and man, I can't thank you, can't appreciate that enough, brother. Coming in, hitting that join button, becoming a brand new member of the Peacemaker Sub Club here on YouTube, man. That's absolutely massive. I appreciate that, my boy. Showing the big love here in this one, and you know what's up, my boy. You know what's up, baby. Just good, hard racing action, and we can't wait to see the Outcast Racing League back in action tomorrow afternoon as well. Going to be an absolutely insane show. Gonna be some absolutely wicked racing action there tomorrow afternoon, just before 4 o'clock Eastern time. Now, I'm not sure, where are we headed? We're going to Martinsville Speedway next tomorrow. 200 laps at Martinsville. Now, I've done 200 laps at Martinsville before, and I've done, 200 laps, and they were about 160 laps under caution flag. So it could be a good day at the Speedway. It could be a long day at the Speedway if we see a bunch of caution flags tomorrow. As Haas the Boss 420 says, bro, I didn't even know it was possible to sub here. Yes, Sirski, it's possible to sub everywhere, brother. It's possible to sub everywhere. Over on Facebook, over on Twitch, on YouTube. We're monetized on all the channels, all the fronts, all the opportunities for people to become part of the Peacemaker Sub Club or our Members Club or any of the clubs that we have here for our subscribers here on Peacemaker Gaming, and any channel to show the support, show the love. I mean, even if we were streaming again to Kick, we have the ability to earn money over there, and subscribers over on Kick as well. So all the opportunities there, and now you get some cool stickers and everything else that YouTube has to offer. I'm pretty sure it's ad-free once you subscribe on YouTube as well, once you become a member over there as well. I could be wrong on that. I know that's how Twitch does it, so I'm assuming YouTube does the same thing. It says, I'll be out, just had back surgery. I'll be doing race control. Should be back at it next week. Oh, brother. That's rough, man. That is rough. Casey, I feel for you, brother. Was it upper back or lower back? I've had 2 back surgeries, my boy. Before I was 18, I had 2 major back surgeries. I got about a foot and a half long scar right down the middle of my spinal cord, man. So I know all about that. I know all the pain that comes with back surgery, my boy, and it's not fun. Max says, let's go, number 24, cheering on Robinson out there on the Speedway, as we do see a couple drivers trying to keep on moving their way forward here. Grant Applegate, one of those drivers, was starting to run into a little bit of blinkiness out there on the Speedway. He's going to have to be careful of that one. iRacing in the future going to be, potentially removing drivers. Even if they got a little bit of blinkiness, they will just make their car go down pit side and could potentially take a lot of drivers out of their, championship hopes or good races. But being out in front, as soon as that connection kind of starts to go bad, they will pull you off the racetrack. So for a driver like Grant Applegate right there, needs to keep himself out in front. As Aiden Lucas currently right now leading the way, as Casey says, you deserve all the love, brother. Always amazing work. Casey, I appreciate that, my boy. Showing the big love here in this one, my boy. I really do. I truly appreciate that. I appreciate the kind words, and I'm always up here grinding, trying to put together some great content for all the fans in the stands. As Martin's coming in, showing the love as well, and says, who's out in front right now? That is this 20 ride of Aiden Lucas. Aiden has been out in front, just putting together some great laps, some great racing here, and he now has almost a 5-second lead as we inch closer to the end of stage number 2 here at the completion of lap number 80. Now, I don't want to say it and it not happen again like it did in stage number 1, but I do believe stage number 2, we will see that caution flag come out. We should see everybody get lined back up together, and for some drivers, they are definitely looking forward to that little bit of a break in the action after running almost 80 laps of non-stop green flag racing. As Casey says, lower lumbar, 2 bulging disc, cleaned up, scatter passages, but it was a great success, so hopefully all up from here. Yeah, hopefully all up from there, brother. Hopefully no more issues, no more problems with that. Yeah, mine was a L6. My entire L6 vertebrae was deteriorated between constant contact in sports and stuff like that. Had completely deteriorated my L6, and it dropped my L5 down onto my tailbone, and it was moving around every time I was taking a hit, every time I was doing something that I shouldn't even start to get just into walking. I could feel that spinal cord slipping around, and it was pinching all the nerves in my back. So they had to go in, put a piece of my pelvis into that missing spot. They put 4 titanium alloy screws into it. They fused it all together, and the screws were supposed to be good for life. They were never supposed to have any problems or never break. And unfortunately, about 4 years after my first back surgery, when I was 13 years old, the 2 bottom screws had broken into 3, gave my back about 8 hairline fractures, and they had to go back in. They had to take everything out. They put a carbon fiber cage around my spinal cord, 6 screws into it, and fused it all together again. So I've been there, man. I'm half Autobot right now, so it's not fun, and it's something I've dealt with for almost my entire life. At least it seems like my entire life, as we do see that caution flag fly in stage number 2 going to come to a close. It's Aiden Lucas out in front, who will pick up not only stage win number 2, but also stage win number 1 on the afternoon. Landon Burbage will come home in second with Jordan Hand. They are in third. Brian Underwood back in fourth, and Dylan Carey rounding out our top 5 here in the second stage. Wyatt Mickelson, Grant Applegate, Jonathan Gaston, Noah Blackwell, and Josh Crider will round out our top 10 here in the second stage of the afternoon. As our first caution flag, our first set of pit stops here under the yellow about to get underway as drivers head down pit road, looking to get some fuel, looking to get tires, looking to get back into the action here from Texas Motor Speedways. We'll get a quick break in here, a quick word from our sponsors over at Prestige Enterprises.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US, and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Alrighty, as pit stops getting done here, drivers rolling back out onto the racetrack. It's still Aiden Lucas out in front, came down with the race lead. He comes out with the race lead, and he gets ready to go back to green flag racing. So we'll get ready to pull him up here into the broadcast booth for a quick little in-race interview with that 20 ride. Let's see if we can get him up here into the booth right now. Casey says, "Oh my God, brother, you're more of a man than me. I couldn't imagine that pain." Yeah, it was tough, man. It was tough for a long time. It's still tough. I deal with back pain every single day. It is not a fun time, so I never take that for granted, as it could have been a lot worse. Could have gone the wrong way in a quick hurry, but luckily enough, I'm still walking, still able to move, and at least gotta look positive on that note. As we'll quickly pull in Aiden here before we go back to green flag racing. Can't I pull anybody here? I can't pull people out of the Redemption Motorsports crew. Okay, so we're not going to pull Aiden in because I can't drag him in. They got a locked channel there, and unfortunately, I don't have permissions to move people out of that Discord, so we can't pull in our stage winner. And looks like we're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing anyways, as Casey coming in with the GGs, baby. Yes, Sirski, GGs all day long. We need to get a new one of those made up. We should get one for a GR, good race or great race, as Matthew Wood says. I am pace car, by the way. Matthew, we know you're the pace car out there, man. We were talking about that earlier. It's good to see you out there on the racetrack. At least you're still out in front. Unfortunately, just not a part of the racing action here this afternoon, but still good to see you out there at the racetrack having some fun and showing these drivers around during the caution flag. As here we go, our final stage of the day about to get underway is down through the Geico restart zone here at Texas Motor Speedway. The 20 ride of Aiden Lucas quickly back onto the loud pedal as the Redemption Motorsports number 20 ride, the premier racing setups machine, out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here at Texas Motor Speedway. Landon Burbage sitting there in position number 2. He's been trying to chase down this 20 ride for a lot of laps here this evening, as quickly we do see Dylan Carrier up into position number 3. So Carrier back up inside the top 3, as here comes Applegate Grant right there in position number 4. But just like that, cautions, breeding cautions, and the yellow flag will be displayed for the second time here this afternoon. So our second yellow flag of the day, and unfortunately looks like Jordan Crider in the 3 ride going to run into some problems here. So Jordan a little farther back, trying to get this STFU car hooked up here, the no luck machine. Unfortunately, no luck right there. Michael Potter Jr. getting no luck as well, as he gets a piece of them. But man, that was a heavy hit here for that 3 ride. Just loses the rear end. He's trying to save it. The car overcorrects, snap hooks up into the outside fence here in quarter number 3. Heavy contact, heavy damage there for that No Luck Motorsports machine, and unfortunately heavy damage here for him. And it does look like pretty decent damage there as well into that right rear end for that number 13 machine, as he gets a big piece of that 3 ride. But heavy damage and a tough break here throughout this race for Jordan Crider. Not the way he wanted things to go in this one, as that car gonna fall down to the inside here. Unfortunately, does not look like it's gonna move any farther than that. Even though he's trying to get it rolling, it will not roll. He's gonna have to tow that car down pit side and get that thing repaired, and that may keep him down pit road for an extended period of time here this afternoon. As we'll get them all stacked up, we'll get them all racked up and ready to go back to green flag racing, as it was a long break for Matthew Wood, not being in that pace car, not being out there on the racetrack, but that pace car getting some work here in this one throughout that second stage. So second stage break, he was able to get out there on the racetrack, and now right back out there again, as here comes that Premium Stock Car Racing League number, normally the number 24 ride. It's Matthew, or the 16 ride normally. There you go. There's our official Premium Stock Car Racing League pace car out there on the speedway, looking fresh out here in this one, man. Beautiful looking paint scheme, beautiful looking pace car, showing these drivers the way around here this afternoon. As you see the Lonnie Crider logo on there, the Phoenix Esports machine, the Premium Stock Car Racing League official pace car here this afternoon, with the Gaston's iRacing graphics, the NJB designs, and all of our other amazing sponsors, the Rubber Dot Productions on there, all of our amazing sponsors over at Prestige Enterprises on the hood of that car as well, and all of our amazing sponsors here with PSCRL riding on board here with Matthew Wood, as he is our official pace car here this afternoon from Texas Motor Speedway. So you shout out there to Matthew, jumping out there onto the racetrack, making sure that we got a good look at this pace car, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to green flag racing here this evening. As out in front, leading the way behind that official pace car, it's Aiden Lucas. Lucas has been out in front. He's led a ton of laps here this afternoon after taking the race lead away on lap number 9 from Grant Applegate. He's been out in front for virtually every lap since then and continues to try to lead the way, continues to try to lead the most laps here in another race again this season, as this 20 ride has spent a lot of time out in front, a lot of laps led here in our first 5 races of the season. And after being able to pick up his first win of the season and his first win of the Premium Stock Car Racing League career, the 20 ride looking to go back-to-back here this week as he gets ready for another big restart. Let's see if we can keep this one clean and green, lay down some more laps like we did in that first and second stage of the day after going 80 laps caution-free here this afternoon. Back-to-back yellow flags here, one for the stage break, one for incidents out there on the racetrack as the 3 ride. Unfortunately, of Jordan Crider running into a bunch of issues. That 3 car still down on pit road. Looks like he's trying to get that thing rolling now, but we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing down there to corner number 4 as the pace car will make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, unleashing the field here once again to Aiden Lucas. Is down through the Geico restart zone. He'll quickly jump back onto the throttle, looking for a big jump, and he finds it out there in that number 20 machine. As Aiden Lucas leads us down into corner number 1, quickly opening up a few car length lead between himself and Dylan Carrier's Carrier in that second spot now, as he's able to use that good restart from the 20 ride to work himself around that 2 of Landon Burbage. And look out, as here comes that number 25 ride as well. That 25 ride of William Connolly, he was right there ready to pounce as well. He's worked himself up through the field. Grant Applegate now up as well. He's jumped into that 3rd spot as Jordan Hand back in 4th. Landon Burbage there in 5th, sliding backwards here for that number 2 machine. Brian Underwood, Noah Blackwell, Josh Crider, and Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. As Jeff Marble says, hello, how many broadcasters are at Peacemaker? 1, Jeff. There is 1 and 1 only. That is myself. There is nobody else. It's a one-man crew up here in the broadcast booth, and we do it all here on Peacemaker Gaming. It is only myself, and that's the way it's been for 4+ years now, and it's going to continue that way for quite a while. As out in front, it's Aiden Lucas. Aiden continuing to lead the way, trying to keep that 31 ride of Dylan Carrier back there at bay. This is probably the first good challenge that the 20 ride has seen to his back bumper in quite a few laps here this afternoon. As Jeff's asking, available on Mondays, what time are you looking for, Jeff? What time are you looking for, brother? I need a specific time frame of when you're going to start and finish a league race or a special race or anything else, as our schedule is jam-packed pretty much every single day of the week. We've really only got certain select times open and available for any other leagues, as usually everyone wants to run the exact same time. Someone named Jeff Rasmus is telling me he owns this page. I don't know who Jeff Rasmus is, but he definitely does not own this page. I don't even know who that guy is or whoever Jeff is, but he most certainly does not own this page. And if you can send me that guy's info, I will definitely make sure to send him a cease and desist order and to tell him to go shut the f up. As, yeah, definitely does not have anything to do with this one. I do see you showing the love over there on Facebook as well, asking as well here on Peacemaker. But yeah, no, it's a one and only man show here on Peacemaker Gaming, and it is myself, as Jeff says, 8 p.m. Eastern, full cup schedule all the way through November. I would have to look at my schedule, Jeff, but I don't think so. Bro, he just commented to my league. I'm gonna mess him up. Yeah, definitely mess him up, brother. My name's Aaron, and I'm the only guy who has any type of connection with Peacemaker Gaming. It's a scam. I don't believe him. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't believe Jeff Rasmus, as that's definitely not the guy. As I can even show you here. Let me quickly move some of these logos around, and I'll turn the camera back on. Here in this one, where is the camera? There it is. Oh, we got our block. There we go. All right, am the one and only Peacemaker Gaming here on Peacemaker. I control everything to do with it on the YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick channels. All of them are me, myself, and I. There is nobody else that has control, has any say, or anything to do with Peacemaker Gaming other than just friends that are, amazing people, amazing followers, and supporters of the channel that run our logo on their race cars. Other than that, other than having logos on some race cars, no one has anything else to do with Peacemaker Gaming except for myself. So you messed him up, brother. We'd love to have you. We have full fields. So we love to see that. We love to see that, my boy. Full fields is what we always like to see here on Peacemaker Gaming. I'll have to double check my schedule. I do feel like I had something planned for a couple weeks from now for another series. I'm not 100% sure if that's still going on or not. I would have to get a hold of the other league and make sure, whether or not they're still going or not. So I can't quite commit on that until I go over all the logistics of everything and make sure that things are A-okay and perfect and available for us to be able to jump in and commit to a full-length series like that. Is out on the racetrack. It is a great battle at the front of the field as Dylan Carrier and Aiden Lucas battling door to door here for the race lead. Lucas trying to hold on to the race lead. Dylan Carrier trying to take it away from him here in our final stage of a racing action from Texas Motor Speedway. Grant Applegate working his way back up inside the top three, as well as the Red Bull Racing. Number 57, Ryan Rolls there in that third position with Jordan Hand back and forth, and Landon Burbage falling all the way back into that fifth position. The farthest back we've seen this two ride all afternoon. As William Connolly sits there in position number 6, as Brian Underwood back in 7th with Noah Blackwell, Wyatt Mickelson, Josh Crider rounding out our top 10. Ben Gleason in the 66 ride after, trying to keep himself on the lead lap for a lot of those laps. He was one of those drivers really looking forward to that caution flag and that stage break. Finally was able to get it, able to get those fresh tires, and here he is working his way up towards the top 10 as he sits in position number 11 right now. The hard charger on the racetrack, as well as Ben up 12th position, started back in 23rd, the rear of the field in the Oscar Mayer Hot Dog 66 ride, up and into position number 11. As Aaron Robinson back in 12th with Farrell Robbins there in position number 13. Jonathan Gaston there in 14th with Melvin Brengruer rounding out our top 15 here this afternoon. Danny White, Reese Calva back on the lead lap, able to get the lucky dog with that final or last caution flag, and Reese sits there in position number 17 in the Prestige Enterprises ride. Ryan Haller back in 18th. He's hoping to see another yellow flag, trying to work his way back onto the lead lap as Jordan Crider, Nathan Brookover, Michael Ponder Jr., Trenton Johns, Evan Stewart rounding out our 23 car field here this evening. As Aiden Lucas continuing able to lead this race as Dylan Carrier sliding backwards here about half a second back after mounting probably the best challenge we've seen all afternoon for that race lead for Aiden Lucas to fall backwards here in this race. Unfortunately for the 31, just could not complete that pass, could not keep that number 20 ride back there behind him, and unfortunately for Dylan, he'll settle in to position number 2, now trying to hold off Grant Applegate, Jordan Hand, and Landon Burbage here in this race. As Lucas out in front, as we'll jump into a quick Peacemaker Gaming crank it up. I appreciate everyone tuning in, showing the love here this afternoon, and if you haven't already, make sure guys hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that follow and subscribe button, as these drivers put on one heck of a show here from Texas Motor Speedway in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, as we crank it up here on Peacemaker Gaming. a beautiful break-it-up session here from Texas Motor Speedway. As these drivers put on a great show for us there in a great crank-it-up as we inch closer and closer to the checkered flag here from Texas Motor Speedway. Is Bionic Man coming in, showing the love over there on YouTube. How are you, Bionic Man? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful Saturday afternoon. And Mr. Brad Hunt also coming in, dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast. I appreciate that, Brad, coming in, showing the love here in this one is bad. Brad Hunt coming in, showing the love here this afternoon as out in front it is that number 20 ride of Aiden Lucas, who continues to lead the way. Aiden at the front of the field here. He has led the most laps this afternoon. He's inching over 100 laps led here this afternoon, getting closer and closer to leading almost 120 laps here on the evening, as this 20 ride has been a man on a mission, looking to go back to back, looking to try to pick up his second checkered flag in his premium stunt car racing league career after picking up his first career win here with the series last week from Sonoma Raceway. As we were down in Napa Valley, we were in that beautiful sunny California, and he was able to find victory lane, find some sunshine there himself. As look out, some issues here for Heyitskevcustoms. Calva trying to head down pit road, got in there a little bit too hot. Let's play this back and take a look at the four ride as he has some pretty serious front end damage here as well. Looks like he's going to find the inside wall, so he's trying to get checked up. Looks like he's going to go through the marbles here. Down on the apron, going to lose control of that four ride. All of a sudden, the rear end just kicks out and around on him. He slides heavily down into the inside fence. Heavy front end damage. The Prestige Enterprises number 4 ride as he comes to a sliding halt down on the apron. Luckily enough, no caution flag for everybody else, but a tough break for Heyitskevcustoms, as that's going to keep him down pit side for an extended period of time as he's trying to get that car repaired, trying to get that thing back out there onto the racetrack. Finally rolling back out there as we do see the rest of the field head down pit side here, including our race leader. Actually, no, Aiden Lucas still rolling out there on the racetrack, but we do see pretty much everybody else except for our top 6 head down pit side. There's Dylan Carrier, Landon Burbidge, Jordan Hand, Wyatt Mickelson, all down pit road, and here comes the next wave of drivers. Aiden Lucas, Brian Underwood, Grant Applegate now headed down pit side themselves. There's Ben Gleason in the 66 ride, also down pit side. Yet to come down pit road and staying out for another lap is that 72 ride, the G-Man, Jonathan Gaston. Gaston staying out on the racetrack here for at least another lap, trying to see if he can play a little bit of strategy here in that 72 as he's now our race leader. He's out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. Melvin Brandgruer now into position number 2 as Aiden Lucas done his pit stop, rolling back out there onto the racetrack. But look at Brian Underwood right there with him. So Aiden Lucas had a massive race lead, and all of a sudden down pit side, not the pit stop that he was looking for, loses a ton of time. Here comes that 2 ride. Landon Burbidge. Burbidge going to get around him here as well. As things cycle back through, it's Dylan Carrier who will have the race lead. Carrier will be our race leader once we see Jonathan Gaston head down pit road, as we do see Melvin Brandgruer on pit lane himself. And here comes that 72 of Jonathan Gaston, so he's not going to wait any longer. He heads down pit side. And as we cycle back through here in this race, it's Dylan Carrier who will have the race lead here in this one. Late in this race, a new race leader, ladies and gentlemen, Dylan Carrier out in front. Down across the line here, he will take that race lead away from Jonathan Gaston, and Dylan Carrier now leading this race with Jordan Hand in position number 2. They got a second and a bit between themselves and what was our race leader, the 20 ride of Aiden Lucas. Lucas now back into 3rd. He's going to have to be very, very careful here not to burn up his equipment too soon, but looking to try to keep finding that speed and trying to hunt down those 2 drivers that were able to leapfrog him and jump out in front. Landon Burbidge will be there in position number 4 as he tries to stay to the back bumper of that 2 ride, and then a bit of a gap back to the 6 car of Brian Underwood. Underwood back there rounding out our top 5 with Grant Applegate, Wyatt Mickelson, William Connolly, Ben Gleason, and Josh Crider rounding out our top 10 on the racetrack. Noah Blackwell back in 11th with Farrell Robbins there in 12th, our Daytona 500 winner here this evening. Back in that 12th position with one of the newcomers. Back there in position number 13, Aaron Robinson in that lucky 13th position. Unfortunately, not the spot he wants to be. He wants to be in lucky position number 1 out there on the racetrack. Not stuck back here in 13th as Danny White behind him in 14th. And Jonathan Gaston, one of the old dogs racing rides back, rounding out our top 15. Now, he does have the freshest tires on the racetrack. We'll have to wait and see if he can use those fresh tires to try to race his way back up inside the top 10 here this afternoon. Same with Melvin Brangro, who's back in the 16th position. Reese Calva back in 17th with Ryan Haller in the 18th position. Jordan Crider down pit side here for potentially an extended period of time, as we do see Ben Gleason also make his way back down pit road. So unfortunately for the Oscar Myers Hot Dogs number 66 riding unscheduled pit stop, as he'll roll in behind our premium stock car racing league pace car there of Matthew Wood on the speedway, and he is down pit side for an extended period of time here. Potentially may go another spot down as Reese Calvo looking to try to catch up to him, looking to try to put himself potentially into that free pass, the lucky dog position once again on the racetrack. Is Dylan Carrier out in front, continuing to lead the way. Carrier out in front here in this one, as we do see Aiden Lucas. He's been able to catch Jordan Hand and quickly make quick work of that 11 ride as the Optic Gaming Auto Value Parts Store number 11 machine slides back into position number 3 on the racetrack. Aiden Lucas try to close that gap, try to hunt down that 31 ride of Dylan Carrier and take this race lead back away after a slow green flag pit stop. The 20 ride fell all the way back into that third, almost that 4th position, and here he is battling back in a quick hurry, and he is closing that gap between himself and the 31 of Dylan Carrier out there on the racetrack in a rapid pace, and soon enough he'll be right back to the rear bumper of that number 31 machine. As Carrier continues to lead the way, his next time by the start-finish line, we're going to see only 30 more laps of racing action here this afternoon, as everybody should be pretty close to make it on fuel here. But if we see a late race caution flag, NASCAR overtime here on the afternoon, that's where things are going to get very interesting. I do believe that everyone's going to want to come back down pit side. I do believe everyone still has a extra set of tires behind pit wall, but a couple different caution flags here over the next 40 laps, 30 laps could potentially make things very interesting in a quick hurry. If we have a early caution flag, let's say anywhere between now and 20 laps left to go in this race, a lot of drivers may want to come down pit side then, get those fresh tires, see if they can use them to their advantage. But if we see another caution flag come out, they could be sitting ducks out there on the racetrack. And for drivers that try to stay out, they could potentially be sitting ducks as well if we go for another long green flag run to the checkered flag. You want to make sure you use those fresh tires up out there on the speedway, because tires here at Texas Motor Speedway, the legacy Texas Motor Speedway, are so important. Here you go. That 20 ride did not take him long to get back up here to the back bumper of our race leader, Dylan Carrier, trying to hold him off, trying to keep Aiden Lucas back there at bay. They used to be teammates, now on different teams in the 31 and 20, duking it out late in the race here at Texas Motor Speedway. Aiden looking to try to make it 2 wins in a row. The 31 of Dylan Carrier trying to find his first checkered flag of the season. He's trying to hold that 20 ride back there at bay. Aiden just putting the pressure right there to his back bumper. He hasn't really made the move yet, but he's shown that he's got a ton of speed in the car to be able to go around this 31 and take that race lead. Is down through corner number 1. He'll do just that. And Aiden Luke is now back out in front as Dylan Carrier slides back into position number 2. So there you go. It did not take him long, about 10 laps for this number 20 ride to jump back out in front. It was actually about 13 laps. Be able to jump from 3rd all the way back, closing that almost 2-second gap and taking this race lead back away from Dylan Carrier and Jordan Hand, who were able to leapfrog this 20 there during the green flag pit stops. Brian Carrier says, come on 31, you got this. Cheering on Dylan out there on the speedway. Unfortunately, Dylan could just not hold off the 20 ride of Aiden Lucas as he leads the way here once again at the beautiful Texas Motor Speedway. Carrier back into second with Jordan Hand there in position number 3. It's Brian Underwood back in fourth with Grant Applegate rounding out our top 5 as our pole sitter down 4 spots here on the racetrack finds himself just rounding out our top 5. And behind him, the outside pole sitter here, the other driver that started on the front row this afternoon, the 2-rider Landon Burbage sits back in position number 6. Wyatt Mickelson having himself another good, sneaky, good race here in that 10 ride. The HendrickCars.com machine looking for another big run, another top 10 finish potentially here for the Field Up Motorsports crew, as it's only a 2-car team with Ryan Haller and Wyatt Mickelson. And once they kind of team together, Wyatt has been doing a great job continuing to get some solid top 10 runs, and I'm sure without a doubt before long we may see this 10 ride find his way up and into victory lane. Jonathan Gaston, he was the final driver to come down pit side during those green flag pit stops back on lap 129. Now everyone that's kind of around him, they came down pit road about 3 to about 4 laps before he did, and you can see the tires are still working for him. He came back out onto the racetrack. He was sitting back at about the 15th position, now up inside the top 10 once again, and Gaston finds himself in position number 8 on the racetrack after making his way around the Maxwell House number 25, or William Connolly. We do see Farrell Robbins, our first race winner of the season down in Daytona. That 76 rider Farrell Robbins rounding out the top 10. Josh Crider back there in 11 with Noah Blackwell there in 13th. He's got Aaron, or 12th, as Aaron Robinson in that 13th position, trying to work himself around that Trojan number 18 rider Blackwell. Danny White there in 14th with Melvin Brangborough rounding out our top 15. Ben Gleason back in 16th. He is the first driver 1 lap down here. He's looking for that caution flag, the lucky dog, and back into contention, back on the lead lap here this afternoon. Reese Calva, he's looking for a couple caution flags as he's also a lap down. He's not in that free pass position, but for the Prestige Enterprises number 4 ride, he's hoping for a couple late race yellows to try to work himself back into contention here this evening. Ryan Haller in the 99 ride, that Busch Latte machine, the Texas Rangers ride, unfortunately falling apart just like the Texas Rangers. He is back in the 18th position, not the run that he was hoping for here this afternoon. Has been very, very fast, showing some great speed out of that 99 ride and trying to keep himself, on a roll here with his teammate Wyatt Mickelson, who's up in 7th. Unfortunately for Ryan, going down a couple early laps here and stuck back there in that 18th spot as Jordan Crider down on pit road. The 3 ride potentially having his night come to an early close here. Same with Nathan Brookover, who's off the speedway. Michael Ponder Jr., who's still down pit side. He's back in 21st, multiple laps down. Trenton Johns, Evan Stewart also down and out of this race. As out in front, Aiden Lucas looking to try to just run away with this one. Already out to a 2.5 second lead here as Jordan Hand sits back in position number 2. Hand has been able to work himself around Dylan Carrier. Carrier still sliding backwards here. The Mossberg number 31 ride, unfortunately now back into position number 4 is Brian Underwood, able to slide around him, and last season's champion, the season 4 champ here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, up and into position number 3 here this afternoon. Carrier back to 4th. Grant Applegate right there trying to hunt him down. Same with Landon Burbage as our top 6. So a lot of those drivers still right tight together, not too far apart. One simple mistake, one slip up, and you can fall back a couple spots in a quick hurry as Aiden Lucas leading this race, looking to try to run away with it. Jordan Hand, his teammate there in 2nd, and Brian Underwood, another teammate here with the Redemption Motorsports crew, up and into 3rd as they're looking to try to get a 1-2-3 finish here this afternoon from Texas Motor Speedway as the Redemption crew came to play here this afternoon, and they're looking to try to get an amazing feat done here this evening, and that is a 1, 2, 3 podium run, and they're looking for potentially 1, 2, 3, and 4 as Grant Applegate, their 4th driver in the stable, now has worked himself up and into position number 4 after making the move around Dylan Carrier. So right now, Redemption Motorsports leading the way here in this one has the Boom Stock Car Racing lead. We've seen this happen a few times, and right now trying to make it a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish here with the Redemption Motorsports crew. Dylan Carrier continues to slide backwards here as Dylan back now into the 6th position as Landon Burbage able to get around him up inside the top 5 now for that 2 ride. We'll have to wait and see if Landon can try to jump up there and break up that party, see if he can find a way around Grant Applegate to make it no longer a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for Redemption Motorsports, and maybe jump up inside the top 3 as well as he tries to hunt down Applegate and Underwood here in front of him as Aiden Lucas out in front continue to stretch that race lead out 2.1 seconds, 2.6 seconds, sorry, 2.6 seconds between himself and Jordan Hand. That is a heck of a distance, a lot of time out there on the speedway, and a lot of ground for Jordan Hand to try to make up here, about half the straightaway behind our race leader, and that's going to give a lot of extra ground, a lot of extra breathing time here for Aiden Lucas, just to be able to keep on hitting his marks, not have to worry about the pressure on his back bumper, just hoping not to see a caution flag and able to run away with this race. And even if the cars behind him are able to catch him, it's all of his teammates, Jordan Hand, Underwood, Applegate, all teammates here to the 20 ride right there behind him as they are on an absolutely amazing pace here this afternoon, man. Absolutely amazing run and performance for the Redemption Motorsport crew. If they can finish this one off, if they can cap this one off, as Martin Long says, come on, number 20, you got this hammer down. And right now, he's definitely got that hammer down. Aiden Lucas out in front, looking to put himself up into victory lane here, back-to-back weeks. Only 15 more laps left to go. This race is flying by, ladies and gentlemen. They are clicking the laps off in a quick hurry. A lot of green flag laps. Only 2 caution flags here on the afternoon. 1 for the stage break at the end of stage number 2, and 1 for incidents following that caution flag. So quick caution flags at lap 80, lap 84, and other than that, our first 80 laps were caution free. The final potential 80 plus laps caution free here this afternoon as well. At least that's what Aiden Lucas is hoping to see. He does not want to see that caution flag come out. He does not want to have to see these drivers come down pit road, put on fresh tires, and potentially find their way up and around that 20 ride, as he's going to put Reese Calva another lap down. So the Prestige Enterprises machine going another lap down here this afternoon. A tough break there for Reese in that Texas A&M machine as he slides back in position number 17 on the racetrack. Is Aiden Lucas, though, out in front, continuing to stretch that race lead. Almost 3 seconds now between himself and that 11 rider Jordan Hand. Back there in third, it is Brian Underwood, but now breaking up that top 4 run for Redemption Motorsports. 2 ride of Landon Burbage right there trying to find his way around the 57 of Grant Applegate. So Burbage looking to try to play spoiler here for that team to try to come home 1, 2, 3, and 4. If the 2 ride can complete this pass, could break up that 1, 2, 3, 4 finish here for Redemption Motorsports, and that's exactly what Landon's trying to do. I'm sure he'd love to try to break up their top 3 party as well and see if he can try to hunt down that 6 ride of Brian Underwood and steal that 3rd position away as well, but he is running out of time and still having to try to find his way around this 57 of Grant Applegate. One of the best battles out there on the racetrack as of right now as they continue to duke it out door to door. Looks like the inside lane going to pay dividends right there as the 57 able to clear them, able to hold them off, but another hard charge go to corner number 2 for that number 2 ride. Alrighty, as they continue to battle door to door here for position number 4. And in front, continuing to stretch that race lead over 3 seconds now. 3.2 seconds between himself and Jordan Hand. As Martin says, what position is number 20? And Martin, the 20 ride of Aiden Lucas, he is out in front. He has been leading this race for pretty much the entire afternoon. There's only a handful of laps of the 20 ride of Aiden Lucas was not out in front, and he's looking to keep it that way as he looks to lead us all the way down to the checkered flag. And with only 7 more laps left to go, he inches closer and closer to getting it done and backing up last week's win with a big win here at Texas. As Martin says, nice. Yeah, definitely a nice run here for the Premier Racing Setups number 20 machine, the Auto Value Parts Store number 20 machine of Aiden Lucas, after picking up last week's win at Sonoma, looking to make it 2 in a row here at Texas Motor Speedway as he continues to lead the way. Is down the back straightaway, nice and easy, down into corner number 3, almost the entire back straightaway gap between himself and his teammate Jordan Hand. His Hand sitting there in position number 2, knows that he's running out of time and opportunities to try to hunt down this 20 ride, but maybe biding his time, hoping to see maybe a caution flag. But I'm sure Jordan Hand would love to see this 20 machine, his teammate, back up into victory lane. There's only 5 more laps left to go, ladies and gentlemen. Here you go. You came for a show. Here you go, as these drivers put on a great battle here all afternoon. A lot of green flag laps, a lot of door-to-door action, but it's been a ton of this 20 ride of Aiden Lucas out in front, leading the way as he'll make the pass around Ryan Holler, putting him another lap down. The 20 ride across the line will lead another lap and see 4 more laps left to go. 4 more laps left here for that number 20 machine as Aiden Lucas looking to get it done here in this one. 3.75 seconds between himself and Jordan Hand. Lucas continues to stretch that race lead out as Hand sits there in position number 2. It's Brian Underwood back there in 3rd. Now they got about a 3-second gap here. Top 30, all a part of the Redemption Motorsports crew. Back to our 4th place driver, which is now Landon Burbage. Their teammate for Redemption Motorsports, Grant Applegate, who is looking to try to finish off a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish here for their team, has fallen back into position number 5 on the racetrack as Landon was able to work himself around. If Landon can try to stay there and break up that party, 157 of Grant Applegate, he's trying to hunt him back down, looking to try to move back into that 4th position as out in front, Aiden Lucas down across the line. We'll see 2 more laps left to go. As Brian Carrier says, about time for a caution. About time for a caution. Come on now. It's not NASCAR. We don't throw those late race caution flags out, but you never know, man. Racing happens. Sometimes those late race caution flags will come up and bite you in the butt, but they're running out of time. They need that caution flag in a quick hurry, but for Aiden Lucas, he does not want to see it. Is down out of corner number 4 and out of corner number 4. He'll see that white flag fly. So one more time around here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League, live from Texas Motor Speedway, Aiden Lucas continue to lead the way with only 1 more lap here this afternoon. 1 more lap to get it done here this evening as down the back straightaway for the final time with over a 4-second lead. Aiden Lucas will lead us for the final time out at corner number 4, and he will win back-to-back races here in the Premium Stock Car Racing League as Lucas will get it done here at Texas Motor Speedway. Aiden Lucas picking up the win and will pull that Premier Racing Setups Redemption Motorsports NJP Designs number 20 ride back up and into victory lane here this afternoon. 4.1 seconds, the gap back to his teammate, our 2nd place finisher Jordan Hand. His Hand comes home in position number 2, and their other teammate Brian Underwood 6.5 seconds back of our race leader. Underwood will come home in 3rd as Redemption Motorsports finishing off a 1, 2, 3 podium sweep here this evening. Their 4th teammate Grant Applegate rounding out our top 5 as Landon Burbage was able to pull off a little bit of a spoiler there inside the top 4 for the Redemption crew as they're going to get ready to party here on the front straightaways. They're going to watch and celebrate with their teammate Aiden Lucas as Aiden picking up the dub and pulling this 20 ride up and into the Texas Motor Speedway victory lane. We'll get ready to pull our top 3 up here into the broadcast booth for their post-race interviews. This post-race interview is going to come up next. We'll wait for Aiden Lucas, Jordan Hand, Brian Underwood to jump up into the broadcast booth as now you see some of the teammates here with the Redemption Motorsports team partying here on the front straightaway after a absolutely amazing performance by each and every one of them. Martin says, we need more of that green flag racing. The green flag racing, always beautiful to see, as Martin says, 20W, all day W there for Aiden Lucas, as you see all 4 of those Redemption Motorsports cars on the front straightaway, ready to party here, ready to celebrate their amazing performance and feat here this afternoon. As Mr. Haller, Ryan Haller up in the chat, hey, it's Kev, says, not the race I wanted. Congrats to the 10 car for a 6th place finish, the real MVP of our team. Yeah, another amazing run, another great performance there at Wyatt Mickelson, and so close to potentially putting himself up inside the top 5 here this evening. But a great run there for himself. A great run by all these drivers. Only 2 caution flags, 1 for stage break, 1 for an incident out there on the speedway shortly after that stage break. And man, that was pretty much a clean and green race here by each and every one of our competitors. And if you guys enjoyed that racing action and you haven't already, make sure you guys hit that like button on the stream, hit that share, hit that follow, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Peacemaker family here today as we'll get ready to pull our race winner, Aiden Lucas, up and into the broadcast booth. Already still waiting for Aiden to jump into the waiting room here. We see his teammates are already in there, but don't see him as of yet. We'll have to wait and see if we can get Aiden up and into the booth here this afternoon as he's waiting patiently down pit side. He's celebrating. He's being pretty happy right now, a happy camper after picking up back-to-back checkered flags and looking to try to go on a run here and potentially battle his way into a championship here this season, as we'll get ready to pull him up into the booth here real quick. Waiting for him to jump into that waiting room. He's yet to jump in here. We're hoping to get him in here soon enough, but we may pull in. Oh, there he is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, our race winner, Aiden Lucas. Give it up here for him one more time as he picks up the checkered flag. Hey, Aiden, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
How you doing, Aaron?
Not too bad. Aiden, man, what a run. What a drive. Another dominating race here for that 20 machine, as you've been on a heck of a run here to start this season, and after finally breaking through and picking up your first career win with the Premium Stock Car Racing League last week at Sonoma, you back it right up with another dominating race and another checkered flag here at Texas Motor Speedway. Man, take us back through this race and what's going through your mind here as you're able to pick up back-to-back wins here on the season.
Well, it's always a good day when I get to talk to you, Aaron. You know, I always look forward to this, hoping that I get a podium. But, yeah, you know, just trying to conserve the tires, take it easy. Don't want to burn anything up in this hot Texas sun. You know, it'll tear your tires to shreds, as I found out at some points during our practices during the week. But, yeah, overall, strong run from the 20 bunch. You know, tried to stay out of trouble all day, and felt like we did a good job of that.
Yeah, absolutely. Your teammates all around you there as well late in this race as Jordan Hand and Underwood able to round out our podium. We saw Applegate up there. He was running that 4th position. It was almost a 1, 2, 3, 4 finish for Redemption Motorsports. You have to settle in for 1, 2, 3, 4 in, or 1, 2, 3, and 5 here this afternoon as Applegate slides back into that 5th position. But man, what a run and what a performance here under yourself and that team all afternoon, as you guys are able to finish off with a miraculous finish and a heck of a performance out of each and every one of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Love racing with these redemption guys. You know, I think we do a pretty good job of working together and helping each other out. But, you know, these guys are some of my good friends in the league, so always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Well, Aiden, as you're able to back it up here, we did see a run into a little bit of issues there on one of those, that final green flag pit stop. You come down a lap after pretty much everybody else. You had a pretty commanding race lead at that time, over 2 seconds. And all of a sudden, you make that pit stop, you come back out on the racetrack, you find yourself back in third and a couple seconds behind Dylan Carrier late in this race. What was kind of going through your mind there at that point? Did you think maybe you made a mistake and threw it away, or did you know you just had to bide your time and catch up to that 31 ride and take this race lead away?
You know, we were just trying to save a little bit, wanted to extend that pit stop, just pit on that lap we ended up doing. So for the last about 5 laps or so, clutching and coasting in the corners, and yeah, it didn't end up biting us. Yeah, a little bit of contact there with Dylan, which I mean I hate, but you know, you know what kind of risk you're taking when you throw those blocks. So me and him already talked about it. No hard feelings. I apologized for that, giving him that damage, but yeah, it's always a good battle with these guys.
Absolutely, a lot of fierce and tough competition. I mean, you know firsthand how tough it is to win some of these races, even after having a dominating car. As early in the season, you just kind of were snake bitten, but now all of a sudden, after getting that first one, it seems the floodgates have opened for you as you back it up with another checkered flag here at Texas Motor Speedway. Eden, who'd you like to thank for another great run, another amazing performance here this afternoon?
First off, we got to thank you, Peacemaker, for what you do for us. We'll thank the Redemption Boys, Brian, Grant, Jordan, all of us. Get along real great and work together well. And got to thank Josh, Dylan, and Ben, the admins over here, for putting on a show for us and allowing us to come race these cars.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Aiden, another amazing performance, another great finish here for you, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next Saturday, and maybe back up here in Victory Lane trying to go for the three-peat here next weekend.
Yeah, man, never ran a race at Gateway, so we'll see how this goes. Thank you, Aaron.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night, and don't party too hard down there in Victory Lane.
I appreciate that.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our race winner, Aiden Lucas, as Lucas picks up the dub and pulls that 20 ride up and into the Texas Motor Speedway victory lane as we'll get ready to pull in his teammate in our second place finisher, the 11 rider Jordan Hand, as Jordan comes home in position number 2. Hey Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jordan, man, another solid run, another great performance out of yourself and the team here this evening as you guys are able to come home 1, 2, 3, and 5 here this afternoon. But, man, a solid run, a solid day for yourself, and, you know, close to potentially putting yourself into victory lane. But, you know, that young gun, Aiden Lucas, has just been on fire lately.
Yeah, man, he blows my mind, to be honest with you, man, how good he is.
Yeah, he has definitely stepped up his game, definitely showing that he's probably the car to beat week in, week out there, as he's led a ton of laps on this season. I would say probably 60-70% of this season he's been at the front of the field, showing these drivers how to get it done, and after finally being able to break through, finally pick up that first checkered flag last week at Sonoma, here he is putting on another great show at Texas Motor Speedway, and you guys gotta sit back and watch him and just see what he can do. And unfortunately, late in this race, he just had nothing there for him. He was able to stretch that race lead out more and more and more. You saw him continue to get smaller and smaller out of that windshield as he had to settle in for a solid second place run yourself. But I'm sure you'd love to be up in victory lane.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I mean, hey, I'll take second. Good points day. I think top 5. I think top 3 every stage, or maybe top 4. I can't remember. But good points day. I mean, yeah, I would love to win. It's getting there. We're not too far off of them. But we'll get there. It'll come. Keep on top 5ing them to death, and we'll be there, you know, Final 4 at the end of the season. And I'm just proud of the team. What was that, back-to-back weeks, 1, 2, 3, and another one outside the top 5. And it's just, as a driver, as an owner of the team, I'm pretty proud of the guys. You know, that's awesome. And definitely, I think we're flexing our muscles here in this league as the best team here.
Absolutely, definitely flexing your muscles here over the last couple of weeks and off to a blazing hot start in the season as well. Obviously, having some great runs, some great finishes. Now, a couple checkered flags under your belts and looking to keep that momentum rolling into Gateway next Saturday, man. How you guys feeling about headed there to that racetrack? I know Aiden was talking that he's never ran a race there, so potentially a lot of work to do here this week to get Aiden and everyone kind of on the same page and up to speed there at Gateway.
I mean, honestly, same here. I think I've done like one race there, and it's probably been years, to be completely honest with you. So I'm right there in the same boat. I would probably expect Brian to be the one to beat. He loves Gateway. It's like his favorite track. I would expect him to be really good. Grant's good everywhere. That guy's got insane talent as well. So I got faith in the guys. We'll figure something out. We'll run some practices, and we'll put it all together. We'll be there.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see you guys back out on the racetrack. But Jordan, who would you like to thank here this afternoon for another great run and strong performance here at Texas Motor Speedway?
No, I want to thank my teammates, man. They're awesome. Just once again, man, they just, they're they're the best. I feel like in the league. So, shout out to them. Shout out to you for the broadcast, and shout out to all of our amazing sponsors here in the PSCRL, and just shout out to all the drivers tonight. We had a hell of a driver count for Texas. Everybody raced clean for the most part. I think there was like one wreck, I think. So, shout out to all the guys, man, and just thank them for showing up every week.
Absolutely. A lot of good hard green flag laps and a lot of great racing and another solid car count here this afternoon for the Premium Stock Car Racing League. We can't wait to see everyone back in action, including yourself, Jordan, here next Saturday, and hopefully see you right back up here in the broadcast booth and maybe finding your way up and into victory lane.
Yeah, man, I hope.
Beauty, enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy celebrating down there in victory lane with your teammates.
Yep, we're going to drink a lot of beer.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, give it up there for our second place finisher, Jordan Hand. His hand comes home in position number 2 here this afternoon. A solid run, a solid performance there out of that 11 ride as he comes home in the second spot. Now we'll pull in our third place driver. The third driver rounding out our podium here this afternoon is their teammate, Brian Underwood. Last season's champion, Underwood, able to come home with a solid top 3 run this afternoon. Let's pull him up here into the broadcast booth. A solid drive, a solid performance there for Mr. Underwood. Let's get him up here into the broadcast booth. Hey, Brian, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Brian, man, a very solid run. Another great performance here out of you, but we saw a lot of movement back and forth out there throughout the top 10, but late in this race, you were able to come on strong, work yourself around Landon Burbage, around your teammate Grant Applegate, and put yourself up here into that third spot to round out the podium and to round out the 1-2-3 finish here for the Redemption Motorsports crew.
Yeah, it was a pretty solid race, and kind of got the feeling when it goes green like it does, I always seem to be up towards the front. I definitely didn't have the speed that Aiden had there. He obviously was the car of the night for sure. I just kind of kept my stuff clean and just waited to pounce when it mattered, and was able to get a couple spots there at the end and get a podium.
Absolutely, and that's how championships are made, as you're looking to go back-to-back on the championships here this season and having these great runs, these solid performances, and really just showcasing how good you are out there on the speedway and why you were last season's champion, and being able to put that 6 right up here onto the podium once again has got to feel pretty dang good.
Yeah, I mean, anytime finishing the podium or even top 5, it's a good night. Once you start clicking off the top 5s, the wins come. Like last season, once I got hot, it was top 5s and wins. So just hopefully I can pull off the same run as I did last season and just keep it going.
Absolutely trying to keep it going, but right now it's looking like your teammates there at Redemption Motorsports may be the cars to beat week after week after week, as Aiden has been on a hot run here as of late, and to start the season has been out in front leading a lot of laps. What are you going to do to try to find and close that gap and make it a little tighter there between yourself and your teammates here to pick up some wins on the season?
Yeah, I mean, the good thing with this as a group, we work pretty well together, share a lot of information. It's basically I'm just gonna have to figure something out because obviously Aiden's been up there every race, and Grant's been up there every race, and Jordan as well. So it's just gotta keep the consistency up, just like last season. And like I said, last season, consistency pays off, and usually wins follow with consistency.
Absolutely putting yourself in the right place at the right time, and sometimes putting yourself up into victory lane, as I'm sure we'll see the sixth ride back up there here at some point on the season, maybe a few times here on the season as well. As Brian, you're able to come home in position number 3 here this afternoon under the hot Texas sun, man. Who would you like to thank for such a great run and great drive here on the afternoon?
Yeah, first off, gotta thank my team. I mean, like I said, Aiden's been a good help to me this week. Really didn't like setup, and some of his tips have really helped Jordan as well. Grant, you know, Brookover. Unfortunately, he's like a development driver, but he got taken out by a slow car. Unfortunately, and then you for putting on the show. Do a great job every week.
Absolutely, brother. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you and all these amazing drivers putting on a great show for us here tonight, man. Only one caution flag for incident out there on the speedway, so it was a lot of hard green flag laps, and here you are as the dust settles at Texas Motor Speedway. We'll round out the top 3 here this evening as you finish off a Redemption Motorsports 1, 2, 3 finish here this afternoon with Grant Applegate, your other teammate back there in position number 5. A miraculous run and great finish here for the whole team, and we can't wait to see you guys back in action next Saturday from Gateway and seeing if you guys can back it up with another 1, 2, 3 finish.
Yeah, for sure. I love those tricky tracks, and it kind of races like short tracks, so it's another definitely look forward to that.
Absolutely. Well, you're going to have to work hard and practice with your teammates, as I know Jordan said he hasn't really ran any races there, especially over the last couple of years. And same with Ian Lucas, said that he may have ran one race there at Gateway. So you may be the guy that they look to see if they can find some extra speed next Saturday. And you may be able to use that to your advantage to put yourself up into victory lane, as you were talking about.
Maybe. I mean, they're definitely quick learners. So information they might absorb over the week, which I don't mind giving, it might play in their favor. I don't know. We'll see. They're quick learners, so I don't expect them to be anything short of top 10 next week.
Absolutely. Well, you might have to keep a couple of those tips and tricks up your sleeve here for next Saturday to try to get that one up late in the race, maybe on your teammate.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, we can't wait to see you back out there, Brian. Congrats again on that 3rd place run, and hopefully we'll see you right back up here in the broadcast booth next weekend.
All right, thank you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our 3rd place finisher, the number 6 machine of Brian Underwood. Underwood coming home there in position number 3 here this afternoon. Now, I can't thank you guys and all these drivers enough for tuning in and showing the love and putting on a great show for us here all afternoon. As, man, what a run and what a drive here, man. Lots of green flag laps, lots of great battles out there on the speedway. Elbows up, door-to-door action, and some great fierce battles there between these competitors all afternoon. afternoon. But as the dust settles, it is that 20 ride of Aiden Lucas who finds his way into victory lane, followed by a couple of his teammates there with Jordan Hand and Brian Underwood rounding out our top 3. But listen, I can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. All the fans in the stands, each and every one of you, for tuning in and showing the love here throughout the evening. All the likes, the comments, the shares. I appreciate each and every single one of you, and can't wait to see you guys back in here tomorrow evening, as just before 4 o'clock Eastern time we will be going back live with the Outcast Racing League as they get ready to kick off their second race of the season. We can't wait to see them back out there on the racetrack. But thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and I'll see you guys back here tomorrow afternoon. Peace out for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey guys, my name is Harley with Prestige Enterprises. Not only are we a proud sponsor of the Powerhouse Motorsports, we're also proud to be one of the sponsors for Premier Stock Car Racing League. We provide our services to over 70% of the US, and we have a wide range of services, but our main focuses are custom homes, barn doors and shops, and commercial development. But it doesn't stop there. So pull out your phones and use this QR code on your screen to take a quick look at our website. We can't wait to make your dreams come true. Now that we have helped pay some bills, let's throw it back to you, Aaron.
Strapped in tight, ready, V8 symphony humming, tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising, in the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Trapped in close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet, sipping victory, toasted champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engines soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Grid start, hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Tunnel vision, apex hunting, blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engines soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathe and destiny's near. Strapping, tight, ready, V8 symphony humming. Tires screeching, engine screaming, speed demons coming. Gasoline guzzling, straight moving, track bruising. In the premium stock car, never losing. Pit crew wizards, quick as wizards, slick precision. Seconds matter, clock ticking, tight decisions. Drafting close, slingshot ghost, high speed ballet. Sipping victory, toast the champ, champagne spray. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Crowd roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near. Hearts pound seconds before eruption. Adrenaline and steel, the perfect conjunction. Lap after lap, sweat drips, visor fogging. Fame and glory wait for no one's dogging. Television, apex, hunting blind to the herd. Opponents tailgating, pace firing absurd. Finally tuned monster, horsepower XL. Steering wheels grip like the gates to hell. Fast lanes, checkered flags, racing through the turns. Pedal to the metal, feel the rubber burn. Cloud roars, engine soar, high stakes, high gear. Champions breathing, destiny's near.